Home of entrepreneurs.
Try the newest, cheapest, and fastest delivery na express service. Introducing Moto Express PH. You can now leave your shopping and delivery needs with us without much exposure and interaction to people outside. Mapa-grocery items, medicines, foods, and other essentials and halal certified products, kami na ang mamimili at maghahatid sa'yo. Sinisigurado na ligtas, in good and quality condition ang mga pabili o orders sa delivery service na iyong i-avail. Para sa maayos at mabilis na delivery at order mo, ipamoto mo na. Download Moto Express PH app through Google Play that is built to deliver beyond your expectation. Tara na dito sa Moto Express. Dahil moto mo to.
Are you craving for some milk tea and donuts but you're watching your diet? Good news! You can now enjoy a healthier and superbly delicious keto milk tea and donuts here at Winkle Milk Tea and Winkle Donut. Has fewer calories, so it's good for the health and diet conscious and controlling weight. Why choose Winkle Milk Tea and Winkle Donut? The first halal certified milk Winkle Teas and Winkle Donut in the Philippines. The first healthy keto milk tea franchise in the Philippines. FDA approved. Uniquely infused milk tea flavors with high quality ingredients and premium taste. And if you want a healthy and refreshing franchise opportunity, a competitive healthy blended milk tea and donut franchise awaits you. We have business opportunity options you can choose from. Online seller, micro franchise, unit franchise, master franchise, international franchise. Order via our Facebook page, Winkle Tea and Winkle Donut, or contact 0995-551-4380 to experience this happiness in a box with your favorite Winkle Milk Tea and Winkle Donut.
Okay, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ito pong muli si Nez Aguilar dito po sa Usapang Kabayan. At ngayong hapon pong ito ay tatalakayin po natin ang tungkol sa Greenland Agritech Ventures. May mga katanungan po akong pin-prepare at saka kung let's say ang mga viewers po natin may mga gusto pong itanong, mag-comment lang po kayo dito sa comment section po ng FB page po namin at saka po sa Global Pinas Online TV Channel 168 para po natin talakayin kung ano man po ang inyong mga katanungan tungkol po dito sa Greenland Agritech Ventures. At ngayong hapon po ay guest ko po ngayon ang owner and founder ng Greenland Agritech Ventures regarding sa banana tissue culture. Ito po ay walang iba kundi si Miss Remedios Season Flamiano. Direk, wala pa yung guest natin. Sorry, akala ko nandyan na. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, habang hinihintay po natin si Miss Remedios Season Flamiano na makapasok, siguro po, base dito sa aking mga research about about banana tissue culture. Okay, ano ba itong banana tissue culture? Okay? Ito daw yung base dito sa research ko regarding dito sa banana tissue culture. Ito raw ay tropical. Wait magre-read lang. Usually tama-tama kasi kapag nagko-culture tayo ng banana, of course, ang banana kasi is talagang the usual fruits natin yan dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya tama-tama lang na pwede natin i-culture sila, yung bananas. Okay, different kinds of bananas. So, sinasabi dito, usually, yes, this is a tropical fruit that is consumed by every individuals in raw and cooked form. Ano ba yung raw? Usually, di ba, pag ang banana, kinakain natin ng pwedeng yung hinog right from the right pag kinuha mo sa tree, kakainin natin ng hinog, masarap na himagas yun or dessert, di ba? There are times naman we do ano ba yung ginagawa natin sa banana? We bake like kagaya ng banana cake, di ba? Or sabihin nating mga for example yung parang patties, di ba? Hinahaluan natin ng Saba naman yon, hindi yung matamis na kind of banana. Yung saba, nilalagyan din natin ng patties together with the meat para hindi lahat pure meat. So very healthy yung lulutuin nating klase ng ng ulam natin. Like for example, yun nga, yung ground meat with banana with banana, ground banana. So kumbaga ang tawag natin doon is banana patties. Ano pa ba ang silbi ng banana? Usually like yung saba, 'di ba? Yung saba usually ginagamit natin sa halo-halo. Like kagaya ngayon, 'di ba? Mainit ang panahon. Kasama yan, isa yan sa mga masasarap na sangkap ng halo-halo. Okay? At saka isa pa ba? Usually kasi ang banana ginagamit natin ketchup. Doon sa mga hindi nakakaalam, ang banana ay isa yan sa sangkap ng ketchup. 'Di ba? So marami talagang kumbaga magagamit natin sa fruits ng banana. And isa pa, I would share also sa inyo yung nakita ko sa YouTube yung pagluto ng actually yung hindi lang talaga yung actually hindi yung laman. Okay? Hindi yung laman ang ginagawang patis. Alam niyo ang ginagawang patis? Ang ginagawa ay yung balat. Okay? Tinatanggal yung laman, that is the saba. Okay, yung saba ng saging, which is other kinds of banana. Okay? So, ang ginagawa doon, tatanggalin yung laman, kasi tayo usually laman ang ginagamit natin eh. And then, pagkatanggal ng laman, usually, ikinakat natin or ginigiling natin yung balat. Pero syempre, bago igiling yung balat, dapat kumbaga malinis na. Okay? So, pag nalinisan na yung balat ng saba at let's say nakita nating malinis na, ay usually iaano natin yon, itatadtarin ng pino. O kaya kung may grinder kayo, pwedeng i-grind para yung mismong hindi halata na balat pala ng saging yon. And then yon, hinahalo yon, actually masarap na patties to eh. You know, meat patties pero may halong balat ng saba ng banana. So pag ginrind mo yon, hinalo-halo mo na, ginrind mo siya ng pinong-pino, imimix mo yun sa imimix mo yung balat ng saging dun sa meat, okay? It's either beef or let's say baboy siya. So imimix mo siya, pag na-mix mo na siya, titimplahan mo na syempre of course, ng sibuyas, ano pa ba? Pwede ring i-mix mo rin ng patatas, di ba? Daddarin mo rin ng pino yon. And then, of course, may carrots para healthy siya. And of course, meron ding, syempre, timplahan mo na siya ng asin, ano pa? Asin, konting toyo, di ba? Paminta. And then, dalawang itlog. And then, ihalo-halo mo na siya doon. Okay? Once na, then, lagyan mo na rin ng seasoning or let's say magic sarap, di ba? Para medyo malinam naman lasa. And then, once na i-mix mo na lahat yung mixture, mag-prepare ka ng tawag dito, kawali na mainit. Mainit yung kawali with mantika. And then, saka mo siya piprituhin isa-isa. Okay? At take note, gustong-gusto yun ng mga bata. Akala nila, okay, hamburger patties na pure meat. Pero hindi nila alam, may halong balat ng saba ng saging. Okay? It's very, very healthy. Akala kasi, usually tayo, usually balat ng saging, tinatapon na natin. Or ako kasi, since may alaga ako mga itik dito, yung mga balat ng saging, it's either saba o yung, let's say, yung latundan or lakatan, yung balat nun, tinatapon ko, binibigay ko sa pagkain ng itik. So, tatatarin ko lang yun ng pino, tapos ibibigay ko na yun sa kanila. Pero ang hindi pala natin alam, ang mas masustansya ay yung balat. Take note yung balat. Okay? So, try nyo yon yung binanggit ko sa inyong kind of pagluluto. Okay, para if ever, yeah, matikman ninyo, di ba? Hindi mo akalain na, ano pala yun, balat ng saging. Take note hindi mo akalain na balat ng saging pala yun. Di ba? So, ano pa bang iba pang nagagawa for para sa balat, kumbaga sa saging, di ba? Isa pang alam ko is, of course, alam niyo yung parang snack, usually snack sa mga probinsya, yung niyupak, di ba? Kumbaga, may kahalong saging saba. Saba naman yun. Then, yung saba ng saging na yun, ihahalo dun sa, basta ilalagyan ng asukal yon. Okay. Then, pag nalagyan ng asukal, yuyupakin, itatagtag. Parang ano siya yung i-mince siya. Yung, kumbaga, duduruging mabuti hanggang sa durog na durog. Tapos, lalagyan ng asukal ulit. Durog na durog, ang lagyan ulit ng asukal. And then, once na ano mo na yun, na-mince na lahat. Kumbaga, nadurog mo na lahat yung saba ng saging. Then, there's a time na ilalagay mo na sa isang, of course, lalagyan, di ba, bowl. And then, budburan mo ng konting asukal. And then, yung tawag dito, grated coconut, yung kinayod na coconut, ilalagay mo doon. Ang sarap nun. Tapos sa partner with hot coffee. O, di ba? Partner yun ng hot coffee. Napakasarap sa totoo lang. Napakasarap na snack. Very, very healthy pa. Di ba? Usually, natatandaan ko yan nung maliliit pa kami. Ang kadalasang merienda namin sa hapon, pag darating ako from school, usually kasi yung lumaki ako sa lolo at lola ko So, madalas, pag uwi ako from gaming sa school, pag titingnan ko ano kaya merienda, syempre galing ka sa school, pagod na pagod ka. Tingnan mo kung anong merienda. Ayun, niyupak, tawag namin doon, niyupak na saging. Okay? So, ang sarap naman kasi syempre, usually, ang ginagawa ko pa nga nun kukuha ako ng sa isang platito. Tapos lalagyan ko ng maraming asukal at saka yun nga yung tawag dito, yung nyog, yung grated na coconut. Okay? And then lalagyan mo sa ibabaw. And then kukuha ako ng mainit na kape. Actually, ang kape namin noon, hindi siya yung kapeng tawag dito, hindi siya yung kape na instant. Ang kape namin doon sa probinsya is kapeng bigas. Okay? Paano ba gumawa ng kapeng bigas? Biglang naging cooking show Kung tatanungin ako, base sa kaalaman ko, okay, kung meron kang bigas, di ba, kukuha ka ng isang dakot na bigas. And then, sa kawali, for example, sa kawali, painitin mo yung kawali. Ilalagay mo, pag mainit na yung kawali, ilalagay mo yung bigas. As in bigas. And then, susunugin mo siya, tapos hahaluin mo. Hanggang sa masunog, hanggang maging itim na yung kanyang kulay. Okay? Pag naging itim na yung kanyang kulay, then, basta itim na siya, sunog na Diba? So, pag itim na siya, then that's a time na ilagay mo siya sa isang, kumbaga, tawag dito, yung parang bowl na, or casserole, di ba? Yung malalim, yung casserole. Lagyan mo ng kalahating tubig doon, and then i-pour mo, let's say isang dakot yan, siguro, maglagay ka ng mga 3 kutsara na sinunog na bigas. Okay, yung niluto mong sinunog na bigas. Once na nilagay mo na yon 3 hanggang 4 na kutsara, pakuluin mo. And then once na nakulo na yon, magkukulay yung tubig nun kasi syempre sunog Na para siyang kape. Okay? Ang sarap nun, parang it's like kapeng barako. Okay? Or brewed coffee. Usually yun ang coffee namin sa probinsya. Yun ang ginagawang kape. And then, yun syempre, yung iba, sinasala, yung sa amin naman, usually the usual talaga na meron talagang bigas na sumasama. Meron talagang kanin na sumasama. Pero syempre, sunog na siya. Pero tapos lalagyan mo siya ng asukal. And then partner with the Neopak, 'di ba? Neopak na saging na merong grated coconut at saka yung of course asukal. At ang maganda pa noon, masarap siguro lagyan mo pa rin ng cheese para level up, 'di ba? Alam mo na alam nyo ba guys, na mimiss ko na rin yun eh, yung mga pagkain na pang probinsya. Siyempre, dito wala naman tayo nabibiling ganun eh. Nakakamiss din yung mga ganong klaseng merienda. Okay? So, wala pa ba ang ating guest? I think hindi pa dumarating ang guest natin. Wala pa ba? Anyway, sige, habang hinihintay natin si guest na makapasok, okay? Habang hinihintay natin si guest na makapasok, ano pa ba yung guys, mag-comment naman kayo, 'di ba, dito sa comment section. Ano yung naiisip nyong pwede pang gawin for banana? Any kind, mapa-banana na lakatan, latundan, o saba. Ano pa yung naiisip yung klase ng luto ng banana? And that's the reason bakit magandang i-culture ang banana kasi kumbaga all season yan eh. Walang season eh. Kumbaga lahat ng season, the whole year round, merong banana. And isa pa palang nakikita ko na another luto ng banana is, of course, yung the usual na banana Q, di ba? Marami dito sa atin. Usually, healthy snack yan, banana Q, masarap. Kasi niluluto lang yan sa mantika. Kailangan lubog, tapos lalagyan mo siya ng ng asukal. That's very simple to cook, di ba? And of course, yung ginataang bilo-bilo. Yung ginataang bilo-bilo, of course, maliban dun sa bilog-bilog na tawag dito yung parang bigas, binilog-bilog yun na bigas eh. And then, nilalagyan din siya ng saging. Pero usually, ang ginagawa namin doon, natatandaan ko pag ganon, it's either yung hilaw na saba ng saging or hinog. So depende dun sa klase ng siguro gusto nyong ilagay. Kung pwedeng tawag dito, pwedeng hilaw, pwede ring hinog na saba. Okay, masarap din yon, okay? And then, ano pa ba? Actually, meron akong natatandaan ko, may teacher ako nung high school na bumibili siya sa amin ng saging kasi yung mga tauhan namin dati, madalas magdala ng mga piling-piling na saging galing bundok, 'di ba? So, yon mga tanim ng lola ko yon sa lupa namin dun sa probinsya. And pag nagdala yung mga tauhan namin, talaga ang dami, grabe. Kumbaga minsan 2 kalesa sila. Punong-puno ng mga saging, iba't iba. Pwedeng saging latundan, lakatan, o kaya saba. So pag nagdala sila, usually, so syempre papahinugin ng lola ko yun. O kaya naman, pag medyo madibalang na, ibebenta namin yun dun sa baba. So every time na, syempre maraming saging, so hindi naman namin lahat yun mauubos. Kaya ang ginagawa ng lola ko, ibebenta niya yun dun sa ibaba ng bahay namin. Kami naman ang i-assign niya every weekend na magbenta. So meron akong teacher doon na madalas bumibili siya ng hinog na saba ng saging. Tapos tinatanong ng lola ko, madalas kayong bumili ng saging ng saba? Anong ginagawa niyo? Ngayon ang sagot niya, alam niyo po, yan ginigisa ko. Parang ginagawa niyang gulay, parang ginisang saba ng saging, tapos inuulam sa kanin. So, sabi ng lola ko, paano yun? Paano mo ginagawa? So, ang napapakinggan, syempre maliit pa ako, hindi ko pa masyadong alam paano talaga magluto. Ang pagkakaalam ko, ginagawa niya, igigisa niya sa sibuyas, magigisa siya ng bawang, sibuyas, kamatis sa mantika. Once na medyo brown na yon, then that's the time yung saba ng saging, ikakat niya ng maliliit, square. Tapos ilalagay niya doon. Yun, once na isotain na niya yon, lahat na i-mix na niya, lalagyan niya ng konting, syempre yung panimpla, asin, konting toyo, of course, and then yung syempre yung seasoning. And then That's it. Ulam na. So, actually, hindi ko pa yun na-try. Pero, why not, di ba? Try natin. Kasi, isang menu yan ng saging. Actually, marami talagang marami talagang way how to cook yung yung banana, di ba? And then another one is yung kung alam niyo yung maruya. Maruya is yung minins, yung dinurog na saging na alam ko latundan yun eh. Tapos nanilagyan ng ng harina. Imimix mo yun. And then, once na na-mix na siya, lalagyan mo ng konting asukal, syempre para may lasa. Once na na-mix mo na siya sa flour, na-mix mo na siya dun sa minins na banana, di ba? And then, once na na-mix mo na siya lahat, plus the konting, syempre yung asukal, then magpe-prepare ka na ng mantika sa kawali. Saka mo siya ipiprito. Kumbaga, para para, kumbaga bilog-bilog. Yun, isa rin yun sa actually niluluto ng lola ko, pinabebenta rin niya sa palengke, dun sa probinsya namin. And of course, dahil siyempre masarap kasing magluto ang lola ko, masarap ang timpla niya, then talagang nauubos yung pinapatinda niya dun sa isang kasamahan namin sa bahay. So, ayan guys, mag-comment naman tayo para mag-participate tayo, di ba? And, kumbaga, baka meron kayong iba pang alam. Okay? Baka meron pa kayong iba pang alam na if ever, ano bang klase ng luto ng saging na pwede natin lutuin, di ba guys? Habang hinintay natin yung ating guest. Okay. Habang hinintay natin yung guest po natin, nako, I think yung guest natin hindi na talaga makapasok. Hindi na siya makapasok. So, next Saturday na lang daw siya. I'm sorry guys. So, anyway, kung sakali man, di ba? Kung sakali, sige, ang pag-usapan na lang natin is iba't ibang luto ng saging na lang. Kasi hindi ko naman pwedeng i-discuss yung about dun sa banana tissue culture. Ang mas nakakaalam kasi yung guest natin, okay? So, ano pa bang iba pang alam yung luto ng saging? Meron akong isa pang alam ng luto ng saging, yung inihaw. Alam niyo ba yung inihaw na saba? 'Di ba? Yung inihaw na saba, usually ginagawa namin yan sa sa probinsya. Pag inihaw mo yung saba sa uling, ginagawa namin doon nakalagay may strainer siya tapos iihaw namin. Usually it's either yung maniba lang para hindi siya nadudurog. And then once na it's done, sandali lang naman lutuin 'yon. Then ang masarap siya. Pwede mong sausawan ng ng asukal, 'di ba? 'Yun. Okay na rin 'yun kumbaga pwedeng pang breakfast mo, pang snack. Actually maraming nagagawa ang saging. Then isa pa naalala ko, yung lola ko dati gumagawa siya ng parang banana flour. Okay, ang ginagawa niya doon, hindi ako nagkakamali. Yung banana, iaano niya yun eh. Yayadya rin niya. Hindi hinog kundi yung parang mga hilaw pa. Iyayadya rin niya ng pinong-pino yon. Pag natapos niya na lahat yon, ibibilad niya sa init ng araw. And then hanggang sa matuyo, hanggang sa magiging puti na siya na matigas. Tapos pwede mo nang durug-durugin. And then that's the time na pwede na siya pwedeng ihalo mo sa mga pagkain or let's say kung gusto mong prito ng na mayroong flour, banana flour, mga ganun. O kaya naman, pwede mo rin siyang pampalapot kasi kumbaga flour na siya eh. So, yun ang nakikita ko. Hindi ko lang alam kung may mga iba pa siyang hinahalo pero base dun sa nakikita kong ginagawa niya dati, yun nga, yayadya rin niya yun, di ba? Yayadya rin niya, and then pagkayadyad niya, bibilad niya dun sa araw. Pagkabilad niya dun sa araw ng ilang araw, siguro a matter of 1 week para talagang tuyong-tuyo. then that's the time na, yun nga, magiging ano na siya, banana flour. And then what else? Maliban pa pala dun sa ano, maliban pa pala dun sa banana cake. Actually, ang banana cake, usually latundan yan eh. Actually, hindi pa ako nakapagluto niyan, pero yung mga pinsan ko na nagluluto sila niyan before pa, maliliit pa kami. Ang nakikita ko sa kanila, yayadya rin nila yung banana, yung latundan, okay, na hinog. Pag nayadyad na nila yon, lalagyan nila ng, imimixan na nila ng, kumbaga yung baking powder, imimix nila yung lahat. Titimplahan din, I think may konting, nakikita ko may konting milk, di ba? Yung evaporated milk. What else? Then, asukal. And then, ibibake na nila yon. Yun ang pagkakaalam ko for the banana cake. And then, once na na-bake na nila yon for siguro 30 minutes or almost 45 minutes, then, masarap. Para siyang tinapay. Yeah, para siyang tinapay. Okay. Ano pa guys? Sino yung pwedeng mag-suggest ng another menu? 'Di ba? Another menu. Another menu ng ano, ng banana. Guys. Para makapag-participate man lang tayo, anybody else, anybody kung sino pong gusto mag-participate, 'di ba? Meron pa ba kayong iba pang alam kung paano niluluto ang banana? Paano ba niluluto ang mga banana? Iba't ibang klaseng menu ng banana. And isa pa pala, usually ang banana, kadalasan yan, di ba, dessert. Okay. Alam niyo yung banana split, di ba? Isa rin yun. Sarap din ng banana split. Lalagyan mo yung banana ng isang ganon, di ba? Tapos lalagyan mo ng ice creams on top, and then may konting chocolate na Hershey's chocolate. Wow, ang sarap. Tapos may lagyan mo ng mga ang tawag dito, yung mga mallows. Wow, ang sarap nun. Ang sarap na dessert niyan, di ba? So, baka guys, meron kayong any suggestion for banana menu, o di ba? O kaya meron din tayo yung banana chips, isa pa 'yon, di ba? Yung banana chips, usually naman 'yon usually ang banana chips, piniprito 'yon sa oil. Piniprito rin 'yon ng oil, yung kumbaga deep fry din 'yon. And then once na deep fry mo na, hanguin mo na, and then that's it. That's the banana chips na, di ba? And ano pa? Ano pa ba yung pwede nating i-cook sa banana? Mapasaba o kaya mapalakatan, latundan, di ba? Ano pa ba ang pwede nyo i-suggest, mga guys? Of course, mayroon pa ako isa pa. Yung saba, di ba? Yung saba, usually, sa probinsya, kadalasan din namin merienda yan, yung mga hinog ng saba, ng saging. Tapos, ilalaga mo lang yon. Siyempre, of course, kasama yung balat. Ilalaga mo lang yon. And then, siguro, mga 30 minutes, that's it. Okay na. Pwede nang, usually ako, ang ginagawa ko doon, pag pinil ko yung lutong saba, lalagyan ko syempre ng tawag dito, ng what do you call this? Yung gatas, condensed. Yes. That's the condensed milk. Ang sarap. Masarap talaga siya. And yan, kagaya niya, mga banana recipes, di ba? Yung mga cake, banana cake, isa pa rin yan. So, yan, banana chips, isa pa rin yan, di ba? And of course, may mga iba pa na ginagamit ang banana sa mga, like yung Copacabana. May bananang nakaprito doon pero may kasamang meat, di ba? Yung, kumbaga yung, I think it's a beef. 'di ba? Kupa-kubanan tawag nila doon, pero meron siyang piniritong banana hinahati nila. So, kumbaga, masarap din kasi may konting tamis, 'di ba, ang isang pagkain. Naghahalo ang tamis at alat. Ano pa? Yung kalamay, 'di ba? Kalamay. Yung kalamay usually banana rin 'yan, yung saba. Tapos hahatiin mo lang siya ng half and then piprituhin mo siya. Pag naprito mo na siya, 'di ba? Set aside mo and then yun. Pwede mo nang kainin. Actually nga, pwede mo nang kainin ng raw yan eh. Kumbaga, pagkaprito, kakainin mo na siya kahit na hindi mo nalagyan ng asukal. So, yun, masarap na siya. 'Di ba? So, actually, marami talagang gamit or mailuluto natin sa banana. Maraming gamit actually yan. And isa yan sa kumbaga marami nating prutas dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya tamang-tama nga lang, dun nga siguro sa next episode po natin next week, kasama na natin yung si Miss Remedios Season Flamiano. Okay? Hindi lang kasi siya makapasok, kaya siguro nag-beg off siya. Okay? So, I hope sana po next week ay makapasok na siya para ma-discuss niya yung banana culture. Napaka-importante po yung malaman po natin paano ba mag-culture ng banana. Kasi all year round yan ang banana, 'di ba? So, siguro I think ano pa ba ang the usual na na nagagawa ng banana sa atin? Isa pa, ang banana rich in potassium yan 'Di ba? Very rich in potassium. So, kailangan every day, at least meron kang one piece of banana na kakainin every day. And then, isa pa, usually, nasabi ko na yata yung sa halo-halo. Also, meron din yung basta any kind of dessert, usually, pwedeng haluan ng banana yan. Kaya, napakarami rami ng pwede nating paggamitan ng banana. So, sana guys, makapag-participate naman kayo dito sa ating program. May interaction sana tayo. Pwede kayo mag-suggest ano pa ba ang pwede nating gawin. Okay? Ano pa ba ang pwede nating gawin or lutuin for banana? Baka meron pa kayong pwedeng i-share, 'di ba, sa atin. Ano pa ba ang pwedeng other menu for banana, 'di ba? I think sa akin, nasabi ko na lahat na actually pwede siyang i-grill, di ba? Pwede siyang ilaga. Okay? Pwede rin siyang ilagay sa dessert, di ba? And isa pa pala, okay. Ang banana ba, for example, banana bread, isa pa pala yon, not only for the cake. Pwede rin pala itong gawing banana bread. Okay? May bread, di ba? So, pwede rin pala siyang banana bread. So, possible yun. Kasi, actually, pwede siyang gawing cake So, possible din na pwede rin siyang gawing bread. Di ba? Ang banana. Okay? So, usually kasi, ang banana, yun nga, katulad ng sinabi ko nga sa inyo, they are rich in potassium. Okay? So, ayan. Marami rin sa atin kumbaga, syempre yung iba, actually ako, favorite ko talaga banana red. Usually lakatan ang gusto ko kasi mas matamis, malaki, di ba? Masarap. So, yan ang favorite ko. And then, meron din palang mga variations ang bread. Merong banana raisins bread. Yan, based on my research. Merong banana nut bread, di ba? Yung may mga nuts. Okay, merong chocolate chips banana bread. Okay? Meron din siyang banana bread muffin. Okay? And of course, may vegan banana bread. Ibig sabihin, made without eggs. Yung vegan banana bread is made without eggs or dairy products. And then merong blueberry banana bread. Or pwede rin lagyan din ng other fruits like for example, raspberry or orange. Pwede mong i-add yun sa kung let's say gagawa ka ng banana bread. So pwede mong aside sa blueberry, aside sa raspberry, pwede mong maglagay ng orange, pwede ka maglagay ng apple, di ba? So yun. Actually, isa pa palang naisip ko, naalala ko. Ang uncle ko, naalala ko, yung banana, ginagawa niyang suka. Actually, yung tawag dito, yung mga latundan, alam ko latundan yun eh. Yung mga latundan na nag-e-experiment siya, pero alam nyo guys, ang sarap ng suka na galing sa banana. Pine-ferment niya yun eh. So, yun, yung laman ng lakatan, ng banana, ilalagay niya sa isang garapon. Okay? Pag nilagay niya yun sa isang garapon, siguro isang piling, di ba? Mga ganyang kalaki na garapon, ganyan. So, nag-experiment yung uncle ko, nakikita ko yun, tatanggal siya ng mga banana, 'di ba, yung lakatan. Ilalagay niya doon sa garapon na ganito. And then siguro it takes mga 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then syempre magfa-ferment yun. Meron siyang actually may nilalagay siyang chemical. I forgot lang kung ano yung nilalagay niya doon para mag-ferment siya at hindi siya mabulok at hindi siya mag-uod. Okay? So, once na nadurog na siya, nag-ferment na siya, syempre meron siyang liquid may liquid na yon, syempre. So, yun, actually natikman namin ng lola ko yung ginawa niyang suka na galing sa banana. Ang sarap kasi naghahalo yung asim at saka tamis. 'Di ba? Parang templado na siya. See? So, I don't think merong gumagawa ng ganun eh, yung banana vinegar. So, kung tawagin banana vinegar, ang uncle ko lang ang nakita kong gumagawa ng ganun, banana vinegar. Okay? So, napakasarap nun kasi natikman ko na nga, naghahalo yung asim at tamis niya. Okay? So, yan guys. And of course, meron pa sana naman mag-participate sa inyo, mag-suggest, any suggestion, kung ano yung pwede pa natin gawin for banana, di ba? Ano pang mga menu for banana? Ano pa yung nakikita nyong pwedeng gawin or pwedeng gawin natin sa banana? Meron pa ba kayong naiisip na menu for banana? Diba? Ano pa ba ang pwede natin gawin, especially for the ripe bananas? Alam ko maraming pwedeng gawin dyan, maliban sa pagkain mo ng raw, 'di ba? Yung as in yung from the banana itself, kakainin mo na siya, 'di ba? Dahil hinog na siya. Okay? I would suggest ito base dito sa aking research now. Pwede mo rin pala siyang gawing banana and chocolate peanut butter brownies. Ibig sabihin yung brownies, 'di ba? May yung let's say chocolate brownies, lalagyan mo siya sa ibabaw ng kinat mong banana, 3 banana na it's either lakatan or latundan, 'di ba? And then sprinkle mo ng konting peanut flavor. Okay, isa rin 'yan. And then of course yung vanilla nice cream with real vanilla bean at saka may banana din siya. Isa pa rin 'yon. And of course, yung base dito sa research ko, pwede ring gawin pala ang banana teff bread. Of course, kasama na rin yan ng parang cake eh. Okay? And then, pwede rin mo rin siyang gawing frozen banana treat with chocolate ice cream. Okay? So, marami talagang pwedeng gawing luto sa banana. Merong isa pa, ito, mga international menu kasi to for banana. Banana stuffed aqua faba French toast. Okay? Isa pa yon, di ba? And of course, cranberry orange pumpkin muffins with banana. Ang dami pwedeng gawin sa banana. And of course, isa pa pala, I would suggest, naalala ko, yung alam ko pancake nilalagyan din yun ng ng banana. Usually pina-partner din siya ng yung banana na latundan, ilalagay siya dun sa ibabaw, tapos lalagyan siya ng honey syrup, di ba? Pag nilagyan siya ng honey syrup, okay, ayun, that's it. Pwede mo na kainin. Then may konting margarine. Ang sarap na nun! Yeah, pancake. 'Di ba? And of course, meron tayong banana oat, chocolate chip pancake. Ayan. Another menu, 'di ba? And of course, yung chocolate banana ice cream. Wow, ang sarap din yan. Nakakagutom. 'Di ba? Ang dami yung gagawin. Ang dami pwedeng gawin sa banana. And of course, yung vegan banana muffins. 'Di ba? Wala siyang dairy, wala siyang mga ibang ingredients ng dairy. And of course, yung strawberry chocolate ice cream banana. So meron siyang kasamang banana din, which is the latundan. And of course, yung blueberry oat breakfast muffins with banana. So, ang dami talagang pwedeng gawing lutuin sa banana. Okay, mini apple raisins muffins. So, and also banana almond granola. Ayan, banana blueberry bars. So, ang dami talagang pwedeng gawin. Kasi ang banana, napakasarap naman at napaka-healthy na prutas. Yan, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, banana pancakes. Kasi usually yan, ang banana, yung latundan, nilalagay talaga yan sa ibabaw ng pancakes. Tapos lalagyan ng syrup ng honey at saka, of course, ng konting margarine, di ba? And of course, mango ice cream with banana. Oh, 'di ba? Ang dami nating pwedeng paggawan. And of course, the perfect vegan carrot cake with banana. Okay? And blueberry raspberry aquafaba muffins with banana din. So, ang dami. So, meron pang manna quinoa breakfast in bowl with banana. So, guys, marami talagang pwedeng paglutuan, pwedeng pagkuhanan ng pwede nating kainin, 'di ba? Out of the banana. Kailangan lang maging creative tayo, 'di ba? Para hindi laging kumbaga hindi nakakasawa. Kung let's say puro pinirito, puro kalamay ka na lang na banana, or let's say niyupak ka na lang na banana. Pero yung mga snack na yan, very, 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 very healthy sa atin. Okay? So, ang masasabi ko lang po sa inyo is dapat i-include po ninyo sa inyong daily meals ang banana kasi number 1, rich in potassium po yan. Number 2, very healthy food po yan. And number 3, I think it's rich in vitamin B ang banana. So, sana po palagi po nating i-include ang banana. Mapalakatan yan, latundan o saba. Lagi po natin yan isama sa ating pagkain. And isa pa pala, ang banana, nilalagay rin yan sa nilagang baboy. Yeah, I remember. Usually pag nilagang baboy, meron yung saba. Kasi masarap yung soup na naghahalo yung tamis at saka alat, 'di ba? Tapos merong repolyo, yung malalaking repolyo. Sarap niyan, sarap na pagkain for lunch, 'di ba? So, anyway guys, almost done na tayo for the part 1 and susunod po natin is the part 2. But before anything else, meron lang po akong iiwan sa inyo na kumbaga quote for the day. Okay? Ang masasabi ko lang bago pala ako magsabi ng quote for the day. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng ating mga nanood, ating mga televiewers. Maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta sa amin dito sa Usapang Kabayan. At sana po nagustuhan po ninyo ang topic po natin ngayon, though hindi naman nakarating po hindi nakapasok ang ating guest, pero we expound, di ba? We expound yung pagtatalakay po natin about sa banana. Okay? Actually kasi banana tissue talaga, banana tissue culture dapat talaga ang discussion po natin ngayon. Kaya lang, since nawala po siya, hindi ko naman po pwedeng i-discuss po yung mga napag-usapan namin questions. Okay? So anyway, si Miss Remedios Plamiano ay mag-guest naman po sa atin by next week para kumbaga i-discuss i-discuss yung about banana tissue culture. Okay? So, I hope na gustuhan po ninyo ang ang aking topic po ngayong araw na to. At sana po palagi po kayo sanang manood nitong Usapang Kabayan. Part 1. Ito po yung part 1. Okay? And of course, meron lang po ako hinandang banana quotes. Banana quotes po sa inyo. Dalawa po ang sasabihin ko sa inyong quotes. Number 1, goals are like bananas. Okay? They come in bunches. And the second one, time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. Okay, so I hope nagustuhan po ninyo yung part 1 po natin dito sa Usapang Kabayan. At sana po, palagi po ninyong make it a habit, di ba? To watch and listen dito sa Usapang Kabayan. At susunod na po, anyway, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtangkilik po sa aming programa. At kung meron po kayong mga suggestion, any recommendations, mag-email lang po kayo dito sa aking email address, Nez, that's nez.umc@gmail.com. O kaya naman po, pwede po kayo mag-message dito sa comment section ng Usapang Kabayan dito sa Global Pinas Online TV Channel 168. O kaya naman po sa FB page po namin, The Philippine Event News TV, pwede po kayo mag-comment po doon at mag-suggest kung anong topic na gusto po ninyong talakayin dito sa Usapang Kabayan, or pwede rin po dun sa aming YouTube channel, okay, The Philippine Event News. Pwede po kayo mag-send ng comment section or any suggestion anong topic ang gusto po natin pag-usapan dito sa Usapang Kabayan. And of course, bago po ang lahat, bago po pumasok po tayo sa part 2, okay? I hope po next Saturday, sana po subaybayan po ninyo itong programa po namin, kasi ang special guest po namin next Saturday ay walang iba kundi si Miss Remedios Flamiano. Okay, siya po yung founder ng Greenland Agritech Ventures. Okay? So, matuturuan po niya kayo kung paano mag-culture ng banana. Paano niyo siguro palawigin, 'di ba? Hindi lang tayo aasa dun sa kung ano ang season, 'di ba? So, the whole year round meron tayong banana fruits, kasi ang banana kasi sa atin, ito yung prutas na marami sa atin eh, kaya kailangan natin i-culture ito. So anyway, maraming salamat pong muli. At maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood at pakikinig dito sa Usapang Kabayan. At dadako na po tayo sa part 2 ng Usapang Kabayan. Ito po ay yung ating DOST Pag-asa Weather Report. Direct, pakiplay na lang yung DOST Pag-asa Ulat Panahon.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ngayon po ay weekend, araw ng Sabado, June 19, 2021. Yung habagat po o southwest monsoon ay umaabot lamang po doon sa extreme northern Luzon. Dahil po sa ridge of high pressure area, kaya po itong habagat po ay hanggang doon lamang po na sa lugar na po yun ang naapektuhan. Bukod po doon ay wala po tayong minomonitor na panibagong low pressure area o bagyo sa loob at sa labas ng ating Philippine Area of Responsibility. Sa araw na ito, inaasam pa rin natin ang maganda at maaliwalas na panahon sa Luzon. Inaasam pa rin natin ang matinding init na panahon, lalo na po sa bandang tanghali at sa hapon. Pero may tsansa po ng mga pulo-pulo ng mga pag-ulan o yung panandaliang ulan na ating maranasan sa araw na ito. Dulot po yan ng localized thunderstorm. Dahil sa inaasahan pa rin natin ang mainit na panahon, ang pinamataas ng antas ng temperaturang may katala sa mga lugar sa Luzon, ang pinamataas ng mga kukuha po ay nasa 37 degrees Celsius at yan po sa Tuguegarao. Dito sa Metro Manila, mataas pa rin ang temperaturang may tatala sa araw nito, kung saan naabot ng 34 degrees Celsius. Para sa kababayan po natin sa Legazpi, forecast maximum temperature po natin ay 34 degrees Celsius. Sa Visayas at Mindanao, fair weather po tayo o maganda at maliwalas sa panahon ating pong inaasahan sa araw nito. Pero may mga tsansa po ng biglaang buhos na ulan dahil sa thunderstorm. Inaasahan pa rin natin ang matinding init na panahon, lalo na po sa tanghali o sa hapon. Para sa mga kababayan po natin sa Iloilo, Cebu, ang forecast maximum temperature po natin ay aabot ng 33 degrees Celsius. Sa bandang Mindanao, sa Davao, forecast maximum temperature po natin ay 33 degrees Celsius. Sa Zamboanga, bahagyang mataas, nasa 34 degrees Celsius. Sa Cagayan de Oro, aabot po ng 33 degrees Celsius. Sa ating pong extended weather outlook sa mga piling lugar sa bansa. Sa Metro Manila, sa susunod na 3 araw, magpapatuloy ang fair weather maliban lang po sa mga pulo-pulo o isolated na pag-ulan dahil sa thunderstorm. Ang forecast maximum temperature ay mula 32 hanggang 33 degrees Celsius. Maganda at maliwalas na panahon para sa kabayan po natin sa Baguio City. Yan po sa mga susunod na 3 araw. Maliban lang po sa mga isolated mga pag-ulan. Maganda at maliwalas na panahon pa rin ang mararanasan sa mga araw nito sa Legazpi City. Maliban lang po sa mga isolated rain showers dahil sa thunderstorm. Generally, fair weather po tayo sa susunod ng 3 araw, maliban lang po sa mga localized thunderstorm. Ang forecast maximum temperatures sa araw na ito, para sa kababayan po natin sa Cebu, ay 33 degrees Celsius. Sa Davao, magpapatuloy ang maganda at na maliwalas na panahon. Maliban lang po sa mga pulo-pulong pag-ulan. Forecast maximum temperature ay mula 32 hanggang 33 degrees Celsius. Ang ating pong sunrise mamaya pong 5:28 ng umaga. Sunset mamaya pong 6:27 ng hapon. Yan po ang ating latest sa ating magiging lagay na panahon sa araw na ito. Mula sa Pag-asa, ako po si Alzar D. Aurelio.
Report. Kilalanin ng ilan sa mga partners ng DOST pagdating sa agriculture, aquatic, and natural resources programs. Abangan din ang pinakamainit na balita tungkol sa gamit teknolohiya sa bansa ngayong nagdaang linggo mula mismo kay DOST Secretary Fortunato Boyd de la Peña. Pakarutukan lahat ng yan sa DOST Report tuwing Biyernes alas 4 ng hapon sa DOST TV Facebook page at YouTube channel. Magandang araw, Pilipinas. Ako po si Oring Miranda, ang inyong kapatid sa ibang huwid. Ngayon ay oras na para sa mga napapanahong balita tungkol sa CAM at teknolohiya. Ito ang DOST Report. Triple celebration po tayo ngayon dahil ipinagdiriwang natin ng Metals Engineering Week 2021 at ang 63rd anniversary ng Department of Science and Technology. Fresh mula sa kanilang coffee chat noong nakarang Martes. Kasama po natin DOST Secretary Fortunato Boy de la Peña. Magandang araw po, Sec Boy. Kamusta po ang naging kapihan natin, Sec?
Maganda naman at doon nagbalik tanaw tayo sa mga nagawa noong nakaraang 63 years ng DOST.
Apo. At ang isa pong okasyon ay ang anibersaryo ng DOST, Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources, Research and Development o DOST PCARD sa susunod na linggo. Kaya naman mamaya po sasamahan po kami ni Secretary Boy at ng ilang po sa mga partners ng DOST PCARD upang ibahagi ang mga successful projects na nabuo para sa sektor ng AANR o Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources. Pero bago yan, makibalita muna tayo sa mundo ng sa mga updates sa science and technology program sa bansa. Narito ang Secretary Boy.
Salamat, Onin. I would like to report updates on our 4K. So I will first go through the Kalusugan reports and Kabuhayan reports, and then later with the Kaayusan and Kinabukasan report. So let me start with Kalusugan. The first one is an update on the WHO Solidarity Vaccine Trials. The World Health Organization or WHO headquarters has already forwarded the letter of agreement on June 11, 2021 for the review of the DOH, the DOS and the Philippine Solidarity Vaccine Trial Team. And the transfer of the WHO counterpart will be made in favor of the University of the Philippines, Manila, and that will be expected to be completed next week. And moreover, the final protocol will be finalized hopefully until this weekend, as WHO was able to sign an additional agreement with a third vaccine developer. Now, the other update is with the project of our DOST Food and Nutrition Research Institute. As you probably recall, they did a BCO trials study in Santa Rosa, Laguna, and the results are quite encouraging. Now they are doing another BCO study, this time in Valenzuela City. And as of the first week of June, the ongoing project entitled Beneficial Effects of BCO, tested among suspect and probable cases of COVID-19 that is being implemented in Valenzuela City has 35 qualified subjects out of a target 120 participants. Of the 35, 10 are still undergoing interventions, while 19 have already graduated or completed the program. There were 6 participants who have withdrawn and did not complete the intervention. Another kalusugan update comes from the DOST PICARD, or the Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources, R&D. They reported that they are now supporting a project on the conduct of nutritional analysis of the 15 to 20 priority indigenous vegetables commonly used by Filipinos. Okay, and this one-year project is being implemented by of the Philippines, Los Baños. The data to be gathered by the team will be part of the information education materials that will be produced in the completed documentation of indigenous vegetables in the Philippines. Still on kalusugan, the DOST Food and Nutrition Research Institute has held a training on edible landscaping. Okay, so in partnership with the edible landscaping of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, our Food and Nutrition Research Institute conducted a training entitled Oh My Gulay, OMG, sa FNRI, a step towards biodiversity to further promote homestead food production of Filipino households. This was done last June 2 to 3 via Zoom and was attended by more than 50 participants. Actually, the training focused on the principles and practices of edible landscaping, as well as its potential contribution to achieve food and nutrition security among Filipino households. So this is particularly useful during this time of pandemic. Okay, this is funded by the Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Agricultural Research. Now we move on to kabuhayan, and the first one I will report comes from our DOST Cordillera. They have actually been active in supporting the gong making project in Benguet. Okay, so recognizing the crucial role of gongs, or locally known in Cordilleran communities as gangsa, the DOST has actually helped jumpstart a project. This was way back in 2018 to fuse science, technology, and innovation with unique creative process of producing gongs or the gangsa. So the project is a collaboration of our DOST Cordillera Administrative Region and our Metals Industry Research and Development Center together with their LGU, okay, and with funding support from our DOST shared or the DOST Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology. Through the MIRDC, equipment and training were provided to involve the youth, okay, in that area in honing and mastering the craft. So currently there are already 6 young skilled gong workers in the gong fabrication facility, and they use more modern equipment, to mechanically mold and shape the metal for the gong. Although the machines mechanize the process, the superior sound quality of the gangsa ultimately rests on the skills and expertise of the worker. So as an update, the project now serves as a source of livelihood for the locals while showcasing the traditional instrument, including the processes and principles in its production. It has actually ensured that such unique practice in gong making will not be lost. Now, another on Kabayan, DOST PSHERD, or the Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technologies, R&D, has approved assistance to 14 startup companies, okay? And this will involve an assistance amounting to 43 million pesos. So to help our Philippine economy bounce back from the impact of the pandemic, our PSHERD is pouring in assistance as R&D grants to 14 startup companies under its Startup Grant Fund program. Alam naman natin na meron na tayo Innovative Startup Act. Okay? So the 14 startups were selected out of 54 proposals, okay, in the program called Jumpstarting the Economy in the New Normal. Okay? So this was initiated to overcome R&D roadblocks by means of prototype improvement, the conduct of feasibility studies, the development of product specifications, as well as the validation of user requirements to strengthen their intellectual property also by means of protection and development of the appropriate intellectual property strategy. Let me just briefly enumerate the 14 startups, just the names and basically what they do. So number 1 is Agraba. It provides an integrated platform that arranges the delivery of agricultural produce from farming communities to enterprises. Mosaic, it is an online food and beverage procurement marketplace. Kawil AI, this is a fish electronic catch documentation and traceability app which automates catch documentation by utilizing AI in identifying fish species. We have also Borkei PH. Okay, the Borkei platform is a digitized procurement process for business-to-business transaction. ZP, this particular startup is a business-to-business or B2B logistics service. It's a booking platform for truck owners and franchisees. And then we have a startup called Insights. It integrates actually different agricultural stakeholders into a single digital platform from farmer to consumer, business to business, and business to consumer. Okay, so this actually increases the process cycle efficiency by a big percentage. Biscuit. Okay, this particular startup, okay, is a local centralized business suite to streamline processes and information across the entire company that will enable real-time data visibility of their business status. Another is CodeCham. This is another web-based platform for programming education for teachers and students. Then we have Infinite LMS. It's a learning management system to conduct online learning and for sharing of materials and resources. Then we have a startup called Tinker House. Again, it's an online learning community platform that supports STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And this is in the form of workshops, projects, and learning kits for our young students. Less Sticks. This is a startup that offers a cost-effective and sustainable material actually for roofing, and insulation that is derived from waste single-use plastics. Okay. Another one is Robin, ROBIN. It is a reverse vendo machine that collects plastic bottles and aluminum cans for exchange of reward points. We also have the startup called IOL, which is a platform that helps cooperatives in the Philippines in managing and growing their operations and at the same time complying with regulatory requirements. And lastly, the 14th startup is called OBX. OBX is a local disaster reporting and response system that easily identifies and tracks the location of reported incidents and facilitates the dispatching of appropriate response to emergency needs. So that's all for Kalusugan and Kabuhayan.
Maraming po salamat, Sec Boy. Mga kaibigan, unang bahagi pa lamang po yan. Marami pa rin dapat malaman, huwag kayo alis. Pagbabalik pa ang DOST Report. Tuloy-tuloy po ang ating programa. Narito po muli si Secretary Boy para sa ikalawang bahagi ng DOST report. Secretary.
Thank you, Tony. We move on to kaayusan and kinabukasan. And for kaayusan, the first item I would like to report is the partnership between our DOST Industrial Technology Institute and the Philippine Army and the Philippine National Police in field testing ready-to-eat foods. So the DOST ITDI, through its Packaging Technology Division, is implementing a project together with the Philippine Army and the Philippine National Police to develop and field test the DOST ITDI's retort foods, okay, which includes steamed rice, chicken adobo, adobong kangkong, beef curry, chicken apritada, and bangus sisig as food rations for men in uniform, particularly during combat operations and high-risk operations. The project will also establish the process schedule for the RTE, or ready-to-eat food, the shelf life simulating storage conditions, the handling and distribution of food rations in combat operations, the label design, as well as transport packaging. To date, they did a sensory evaluation of the ready-to-eat chicken adobo involving 25 military and civilian officers. Sila yung nagtumikim, and technical staff as panelists. So the product was evaluated by them as very acceptable in terms of texture, odor, and taste. Okay? Comments from the panelists were also noted and considered in the reformulation of the product. The other report comes from the DOST PBOX. In commemoration of the 30th anniversary of the 1991 Pinatubo volcano eruption, the Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or DOST PBOX, held a webinar entitled DOST PBOX Infobit, Usapang Bulkang Pinatubo, makalipas ang 30 taon. Ito ay via Zoom and Facebook Live. Of course, this was attended by almost 700 participants from all over the country, but most were stakeholders who live in the vicinity of the Pinatubo volcano. The main purpose of the webinar was to share to the public, especially the youth, what happened before, during, and after the large explosive eruption, how scientists, national and local governments, as well as the media, played an important role in saving tens of thousands of lives and vital lessons that were learned that should be applied in volcano disaster risk reduction. Pinatubo's current state, how it is monitored, and the monitoring networks established on the volcano, the alert levels that the public should understand for appropriate response, and the post-eruption lahars and current lahar assessments of various rivers draining Pinatubo were discussed. The commemoration event also paid tribute to our former the late director, Dr. Raimundo Punong Bayan. Also, the PBOX and the United States Geological Survey team, which played a major role in successfully monitoring and warning the second biggest eruption globally in the past century and significantly reducing the loss of lives. Another one from the OSTP box is a report on the training that they conducted for Department of Education Science Program Specialists. So they did, in coordination with the DepEd regional offices, they embarked on a special training on communicating volcano, earthquake, and tsunami hazards for DepEd education program specialists or supervisors for science. So the blended learning design with scheduled Zoom meetings and asynchronous activities started on June 9 and will end on June 19. And they target 2 representatives from all DepEd regional offices. So the training module includes an introduction to the DOST boards programs on monitoring and forecasting, hazards and risk assessment, risk communication, and disaster risk reduction are related to various geological hazards, as well as detailed presentations and discussions on the science behind volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and tsunamis. So each batch has 30 participants who received the teaching manual and other information materials prepared by those people. And lastly, on kinabukasan, I have the following to report. The first is that the DOST Metals Industry Research and Development Center, or DOST-MIRDC, opened the Advanced Manufacturing Center, or AMCEN, last Monday, June 14, during the Metals and Engineering Week 2021 celebration. The Advanced Manufacturing Center, or AMCEN, opened its doors to the public with the launching and inauguration on June 14, an event held as part of the celebration of the Metals and Engineering Week for 2021. The AMCEN earned the support of other government agencies, such as the Department of Finance and the Department of Trade and Industry. For example, Secretary Ramon Lopez of DTI expressed his department's excitement for the opportunities that the AMCEN will bring. And since only 6% of the country's innovative startup system is into product manufacturing, the DTI sees the AMCEN as an encouragement for more startups to venture into manufacturing and to establish their own micro factories. On the other hand, the Department of Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III advised local enterprises to team up with the AMCEN to explore the adoption of additive manufacturing processes to improve their production lines. Secretary Dominguez also commented that the AMCEN is a good starting point to upskill and retool our workers on advanced manufacturing technologies. The AMCEN is one of the newest facilities established by the DOST, Metals Industry Research and Development Center, or MIRDC. The AMCEN and its partners are working towards developing a pool of additive manufacturing experts and expanding the Filipinos' capabilities in modern manufacturing processes. So with the AMCEN now open, more trained engineers, scientists, and technicians are expected to achieve breakthroughs in innovative additive manufacturing technologies, products, processes, and materials. Now, over there in DOST Region 1, our DOST Region 1 held the groundbreaking ceremony of their Metals and Engineering Innovation Center at the Don Mariano Marcos State University in their Mid-La Union campus. Okay, so the aim of this is to promote innovation culture and to strengthen capacity and capability in metalworking to enhance the competitive advantage of the metals and engineering industries in Region 1. Actually, the launching is simultaneous together with the 4 other universities which are being helped by the DOST in setting up their metals and engineering innovation centers. These centers will have 4 functions that includes the support to the metals and engineering R&D of the DOST, which promotes creativity and innovation. The second is to help in the prototyping of machineries, and the third is to support small-scale production. Well, there is a fourth, which is to serve as a training ground for the university students and for the metals and engineering MSME enterprises in the locality. Okay, the project actually was given by a set of modern, up-to-date technology equipment for engineering and for metals and engineering. Another report on kinabukasan comes from the DOST Western Visayas region or DOST Region 6. They have reported that one Balik scientist, Dr. Gerard Dumangkas, is now looking at the feasibility of establishing a biobank center in Western Visayas. Defined as a biorepository, the biobank can store human biological samples and tissues like blood, saliva, and urine, along with any associated information. Once established, it will provide new insights as to how certain diseases respond, leading to the advancement in life science in the country. Dr. Dumangkas is set to examine a number of considerations in establishing the biobank, like power and other requirements, acceptability, demand, practicality, adaptation, and approaches used in genetics research for potential Filipino genetic health determinants. And the medical community in that region is very receptive in pursuing the project. The establishment of a biobank will probably require a long-term investment and also require substantial resources to be put up. But the facility and also the facility needs to collaborate with the Philippine Genome Center, the National Center for Mental Health, and neighboring hospitals and regional institutions or research institutions in the region. Now, from the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute, they have reported that they have entered into a partnership with a private firm which is named Villa Verde. In fact, the agreement or memorandum of understanding was signed on June 16 for the provision of technical expertise by the PNRI in the latter's bid to establish a fully commercial irradiation facility in the Philippines. Villa Verde's projected commercial facility will use gamma radiation to process agricultural products and improve their quality and competitiveness in the market, while eventually looking to expand their services to the sterilization of medical equipment, among others. So the first and only facility of its kind in the country was established in 1989, okay, and it has been reused regularly for radiation processing of thousands of tons of food, spices, medical equipment, and other raw materials on a semi-commercial scale for various clients from the commercial and industrial sectors. Radiation, by the way, radiation processing is being used worldwide to decontaminate and sterilize various products, extending their shelf life and generally improving the quality of consumer goods for local consumption. Now, we have also a report from DOST Central Luzon, iLab, okay? lab as in laboratory. The I Love Garden City that will soon rise in Giginto, Bulacan. This is the innovative tissue culture laboratory for ornamental plants. And the construction is going on in Santa Cruz, Giginto, Bulacan. It's a joint undertaking by the local government unit of Giginto and the DOST Regional Office number 3. The establishment of the tissue culture laboratory aims to supplement and provide technical assistance to farmers in production and propagation of ornamental plants. Okay, so for example, once the laboratory is fully operational, the Institute of Plant Breeding has committed to turn over 32 hybrids of hibiscus or the gumamela that was developed by IPB to the growers so they can propagate them on their own. There are also plans to partner with to be assisted by the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute for the transfer of non-conventional plant breeding technologies. The budget for the construction of building for the I Love Garden City Tissue Culture Laboratory is being shouldered by the local government of Giginto, Bulacan, under the leadership of Mayor Ambrosio Cruz Jr. Meanwhile, the cost of the needed laboratory equipment and materials, as well as the salaries of laboratory personnel, will be funded by DOST Region 3. Okay? Currently, the ornamental plant growers in Giginto employ conventional farm practices like cutting, marketing, and grafting. However, such conventional practices have high mortality rates of transplants, aside from not being applicable for propagating some ornamental plant species. So, with the establishment of the tissue culture laboratory, there will definitely be advantages, okay, over the conventional propagation method being used. Some of the advantages include being able to quickly generate identical mature offspring of one plant with desirable traits, a highly desirable feature, especially for commercial large-scale production of plants and the production of multiple plants in the absence of seeds or pollinators to produce seeds. Now, the other report comes from the DOS Science Education Institute, and this is important for our young people who wants to earn high or advanced degrees. So the DOST Science Education Institute updates us on the PIL France and the Philippines University of Alberta graduate scholarships in STEM. So in its desire to ensure inclusive and quality education for the Filipino people to be able to achieve lifelong learnings in emerging technologies, the DOST, to the Science Education Institute, entered into agreements with universities and foreign governments for the offering of foreign graduate scholarship programs. On June 17, 2019, the administrative agreement between DOST and the Ministry for Europe Foreign Affairs of the French Republic, okay, signed the implementation of a program for co-financing of study grants entitled PhilFinance DOST Fellowship Program. In March of the same year, the DOST Science Education Institute also signed a collaborative agreement with the University of Alberta in Canada for the implementation of the DOST SEI University of Alberta Science and Technology Graduate Scholarship Program. This year, the initial implementation year, the PhilFrance DOST Fellowship Program will aim to support 15 scholars who will commence their MS and PhD programs in different public universities in France starting September 2021. On the other hand, the DOST SEI, a University of Alberta graduate scholarship program, started in 2020, and it has already awarded 3 scholarships to qualified applicants. Okay, there is one who has already left for the University of Alberta. The other 2 are going to start their programs this year. Now, from our National Research Council of the Philippines, they reported their own, their celebration of the quincentennial commemoration with inaugural public lectures. Okay, this is a series, and so NRCP, okay, in commemoration of the 500th anniversary of the victory at Mactan and the Philippines' part in the first circumnavigation of the world, led the inaugural public lecture series, okay, or held the inaugural public lecture series on June 14, 2021 with the theme Breakthroughs for Solidarity. Okay, this is a series of lectures that will highlight and honor the heroism and bravery of Filipinos for the last 500 years and showcase the rich and thriving pre-colonial culture and history of the original inhabitants. The first lectures featured 2 prominent speakers, Dr. Maria Serena Jokno and Professor Randolph David, both Professor Emeritus at the University of the Philippines in Diliman. Dr. Serena Jokno talked about historicizing the present, highlighting the modern Philippine landscape that has been shaped by past events, including the pre-colonial periods. Meanwhile, Professor David discussed the quincentennial commemoration research for national meaning, wherein Professor David touched on the various gaps in the Filipino historical narrative. He cited that the history being taught in school has been embellished with Western interest, thus hiding the true accounts and stories that have shaped the country's current setup Moreover, he mentioned that there has been lack of documentation of the historical stories of indigenous peoples and other marginalized sectors, a gap that warrants immediate attention. Now, I would also like to report about the conclusion of the 2021 informal meeting of science technology ministers. Okay, so this is an annual event of the ASEAN, and the joint event has just been released. Okay, and there are new projects that have been identified to be jointly implemented by the different ASEAN member countries. Many of them have something to do with the management and control of diseases. Others are dealing with developments in artificial intelligence. Okay. And finally, I just would like to extend thanks to everybody who joined us in our coffee chat last June 15 to celebrate DOST's 63rd anniversary. I have to explain that we count our anniversary from the time that the National Science Development Board was established in 1958. Okay, there have been two changes in names already from the National Science Development Board, NSDB, to the National Science and Technology Authority, or NSTA. And finally, in 1987, we became the Department of Science and Technology. So, all who participated, maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Secretary Boy, sa aming pong pagbalik bilang pakikisa sa anibersaryo ng DOST Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources Research and Development, o DOST PICARD. Ibibigay natin ng ilan sa kanilang proyekto na nasa katuparan sa tulong po ng kanilang mga partners. Huwag po kayong bibigyan sa pagbalik po yan ng DOST report. May po nakatutok sa DOST report ang DOST Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources Research and Development, o DOST PICARD, ay isa sa sectoral councils ng DOST. Sila po ang nauna pagdating sa research and development sa sektor na kung tawagin ay ANR o Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources.
Mga kaonin at dahil sa ang PICARD ang aming pinaka apex organization pagdating sa sektor na ito ay pinagsisikapan nila magkaroon ng mga partnership sa iba't ibang organisasyon at kabilang na dito ang mga ibang ahensya ng gobyerno, maging ito ay may kinalaman sa research and development or sa human resource development, technology transfer, at marami pang iba.
At ngayon nga pong araw, ating gigilalanin ng ilan sa mga partners ng USTP card at ating alamin ang ilan sa mga matagumpay na proyekto na po sa partnerships na ito. Makasama po natin sina Dr. Henry Adornado, Director, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Ecosystem Research and Development Bureau. Kasama rin po natin Dr. Claro N. Mingala, BSM, MBST, PhD, Scientist for Philippine Carbo Center. Si Dr. Mujikini Santos, Scientist for National Fisheries Research and Development Institute. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Pag-usapan po natin ang partnership ng UST at DNR Ecosystems Research and Development Bureau. Dr. Henry, isa po sa mga proyekto ng DOSTP card at DNR ERDB ay yung Quality Enhancement and Development of Tree Seed Center sa Mindanao, ang major source po ng seedlings at planting materials para sa National Greening Program ng gobyerno. Maaari po ba ninyo ibahagi sa amin ang proyekto ito at pong buti ang may dudulot po nito?
Okay. Salamat po, Sir Onin. No? Tama po ang sabi niyo. No? Ang amin pong tanggapan, ang Ecosystems Research and Development Bureau, ay sasagawa po ngayon ng programa or proyekto. Katuwang po ang ating research center located in Bislig sa Mindanao sa pamumuno ni ang ating head of the center, si Forester Marquez. At nagpapasalamat po ako sa DOSTP card for providing the funding dito. No? Sila po actually yung source ng aming funding dito. And ito pong programa na ito actually is preserving yung pong viability ng ating seeds. No? Kaya po tayo nagkaroon ng proyektong ito, yung Mindanao Tree Seed Center, not only with the help of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, but also yung DOST po. Parang partner na po, no? At ang objective po nito is maka-develop ng protocol on the improvement of quality seeds through different seed quality enhancement treatment, na kung saan po ay gusto nating mapahaba yung buhay ng seeds, no? Ang for information po ng bawat isa ay ang mga native trees po natin, no, especially yung Dipterocarp. Hindi po ito nagpo-produce ng seeds every year, no. Halos minsan po ay after 3 years. At kami po, ito pong proyektong na ito ay sinagawa upang mapahaba yung buhay ng ating mga seeds na nakokolekta doon sa ating mga identified seed production areas, and para din ho ma-ensure yung viability ng seeds. Ang ating pong center sa pamamagitan ng facilities na ito ay nag-determine din po yung viability at yung germination capacity. And kanina nabanggit po ninyo, ano po ba yung maitutulong nito, no? Ano ba yung benepisyo nito? Well, marami po, no? Hindi lang ho ito nagbibigay ng benepisyo sa ating major program ngayon ng DNR, yung National Greening Program, na kung saan meron tayong nationwide deforestation activities, no? But ito rin po ay magbibigay ng benepisyo doon po sa ating mga corporate tree farmers, no? At doon sa ating mga integrated forest management agreement holder, no? Alam niyo po, pag tayo ay magbe-venture doon sa tree plantation, dapat sigurado tayo ano bang klase nung ating seeds, nung ating planting materials ang gagamitin to ensure that we can produce good trees, yung kumbaga ay hindi sakitin, hindi defective, no? So ito po yung kinakailangan natin. And ang private sector po, especially yung mga mining companies na kung saan meron silang rehabilitation effort na implement, sila rin po ay magbe-benefit dito at makakakuha ng tamang impormasyon, ano ba yung klase ng halaman o trees na dapat ay itinatanim dito sa lugar na ito. Ang origin ba nito is maganda yung quality. So yun po, yung maraming sektor na po pwedeng makinabang dito. Private, government projects, community-based projects, and people's organization.
Isa pang magandang proyekto na nabuo ng PICARD at saka ng DNR-ERTB at gayon din ang ating FPRDI o ang Forest Products Research and Development Institute ay yung collaborative research natin on engineered bamboo together with the China. Ito yung Philippine China collaborative research on engineered bamboo. Doc Henry, ano ba ang mga activities ang nakalatag dito sa collaboration na ito?
Thank you po, Sec Boy, no? For asking that. Siguro po napapanahon na nga po para ma-share natin sa publiko itong importansya nitong proyektong ito, no? Alam po naman natin na yung bamboo ay isa sa mga hindi nabibigyan ng pansin natin, no, in the past. But sa ngayon po hindi lang ho ang DL ang nag-declare na ito ay major commodity ng National Feeding Program, maging ang Department of Agriculture po ay dineclare na nito na high value crops, no? And because of that, nagtutulong-tulong ang DOST, even the Philippine Bamboo Industry ay nagtutulong-tulong na mapasigla itong industriya po ng bamboo. And ito pong proyektong ito na naisip ng ating office in collaboration with the DOST PICARD and other agencies ay naglalayo po na maituro at ma-disseminate ano ba yung kahalagahan ng engineered bamboo, ano ba yung mga benepisyo na nakukuha sa kawayan at paano yung tamang management, tamang production ng quality planting materials, tamang pag put up ng plantation at ano yung kinakailangang maintenance and protection para masigurado na yung ating bamboo na gagamitin sa production ng engineered bamboo kasi napakataas ho ng value, napakataas ng economic value ng engineered bamboo, no? As compared to the other products, meron nga pong pag-aaral na ang density nito, ang strength ay mas mataas pa kaysa wood products, no? So siguro po sa mga darating na panahon dahil nagkakasabay-sabay po yung pag-focus ng bawat sektor dito sa production ng bamboo at sa mga pag-aaral sa mga bamboo tungkol sa kawayan ay baka magiging isa na ito sa mga dahilan upang tumaas yung ating ekonomiya like the other neighboring countries na ang major source po ay itong production ng bamboo.
Opo. Doc Henry, isang areas po maaaring makatulong po ang DOST PICARD?
Ang sa totoo lang po, Sir Onin, ano, sa ngayon, yung ating ini-implement na mga proyekto researches ay pinupondohan po ng PICARD. Sa mga nakalipas pong panahon or taon, ay marami na rin po silang kaming collaboration with them, no? Siguro mention ko yung sa tissue culture, it was also funded by PICARD, and basically po yung source ng fund ang naibibigay sa amin ng DOST, and very very thankful. Pagdating naman po kasi sa mga personnel or staff that will be utilized that particular research ay tayo naman po ay meron sa ERDB.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Henry Adornado. Dumako naman po tayo sa Usaping Livestock. Makasama po natin Dr. Claro Mingala, Scientist 4 mula sa Philippine Carbon Center. Ilan po sa matagumpay na proyekto ng DOST PICARD at PCC ay ang community-based science and technology-based farm at ang science and technology-based farm project. Dr. Claro, ano po ba ang mga proyekto ito, ano-ano ang naging maganda mo ito at higit sa ating po mga farmers.
Magandang araw sa ating lahat, no? Sa mga hindi pa nakakaalam, ang Philippine Carabao Center ay matagal nang naka-engage sa mga ganitong project, community-based science and technology-based farm projects, no? Katunayan, ang Philippine Carabao Center ay anak ng DOSTP card. Pag sinabi nating anak, nanggaling kasi ang Philippine Carabao Center is pinondohang project ng DOSTP card at ng UNDP noong 1982 hanggang 1992. So yun yung Philippine Carabao Research and Development Project na pinagmulan ng Philippine Carabao Center. Ito po yung Philippine Carabao Act of 1992. So naging law po siya kaya naitatag po ang Philippine Carabao Center. At lahat po ng proyekto ng Philippine Carabao Center ay galing po sa pagpupunyagi at pagsuporta ng DOSTP card. Katunayan po ito pong mga community-based science and technology farm projects ay pagpupunta po namin extension services po namin sa mga magsasaka, lalo na po yung mga nag-aalaga ng kalabaw, katulad po ng mga siniservisyohan namin ng mga artificial insemination at gayon din po yung pagbibigay ng mga kaalaman tungo sa magandang produksyon ng kalabaw para magbigay po ng mas mataas na gatas, mas mataas na volume ng gatas. Gayon din po sa karne at gayon din po sa pantrabaho sa bukid.
Alam mo, Onin, para sa kaalaman ng ating mga taga-subaybay, 1999 pa ay inilunsad na ng Philippine Carabao Center ang kanilang village level or village-based buffalo dairying project, improvement na ating local production at para nga palakas ang produksyon ay nakikipag-partner ang Philippine Carabao Center, ang PICARD sa mga local government units, sa mga asosasyon ng mga dairy farmers at ganoon din sa mga dealers ng dairy products, At siguro itanong natin kay Dr. Claro kung ano ba ang mga usual arrangement diyan sa mga public-private partnership na yan.
Secretary Boy, ganito po ang structure po nito, mula po doon sa pinondohang proyekto ng DOSTP card para sa Philippine Carabao Center, nabuo po namin itong pagpupunyagi na itong proyekto na ito, na maabot po namin yung mga magsasaka, lalo na po yung mga kooperatiba na partner po ng Philippine Carabao Center sa paggagatas. Kasi nga po, alam natin na ang Pilipinas po ay 1% lang po ang self-sufficiency ng gatas o sa dairying. 99% po ay halos imported. Kaya po pinag-igihan po ng Philippine Carabao Center, kapartner po ng iba pang ahensya ng Department of Agriculture para mapagtulungan tuunan ng pansin ito. Ah, 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 nagkaroon po ng proyekto ang DOSTP card sa amin. Pinagkalooban po kami ng 60 milyong piso para po magkaroon ng project at mapataas yung antas ng mga kalabaw dito sa ating bansa. Katunayan po, nagkaroon po kami ng pilot project dito sa Nueva Ecija bilang tinuturing po namin capital ng paggagatas, no? Napataas po namin 'yan, naabot po namin yung objective po namin sa project na to. Gayon din po yung isang komunidad ng mga magsasaka doon sa San Agustin, Isabela po. So, pagkatapos po ng proyektong ito, napatunayan po namin na kaya po pala nating maging sustainable, lalo na po sa paggagatas. Ang hinahangad lang po namin ay ma-duplicate po namin o ma-replicate po namin itong proyektong